you just give it to Jason? Didn't think to shout with the day. Huh? Did you want the phone, yeah?
the walls from the building reg.
That's all right.
Interview I've done. Yeah.
Tree tea room. How does it work? Or do we need to rebook our own flight?